welcome to this edition of Keep Watch Pass, your subscriber-only special content on the It's Not That Bad podcast channel. And joining me, as always, my lovely wife, Carrie. Carrie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I am so good. And if you are listening to this episode right now, that means you are subscribed to our content. So hello to all of you lovely listeners. Thank you ever so much for supporting the show. We are about to go down another Keep Watch Pass road with an actor that you are excited to cover for, Carrie.
So excited.
Because we are talking movies starring Christian Slater.
Sorry, my teenage heart just boom.
Yeah, your Tiger Beat magazines all just screamed at you from the wall that they used to be on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm all about the eyebrow.
when we were pitching...
Sorry. I had to get that out right on Front Street.
The Kirkland brand Jack Nicholson eyebrows, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I went there. Oh. So when...
I smell what your rock is cooking.
When we were figuring out which episodes to do next and the idea of Christian Slater came to mind, how happy were you?
Well, I think you were contractually obligated to allow Christian Slater to be one of the first episodes.
Does this count as your pod pass, I guess?
I guess so.
Yeah. If we can do an episode, related directly to Christian Slater, then I guess that's your pod pass as opposed to a hall pass.
Of which I'm pretty certain that hall pass would probably be a contender for It's Not That Bad.
More than likely, yes. But let us explain what we are about to do here. If you haven't listened to an episode of Keep Watch Pass before, here's how the game is played. We are going with a subject. The subject on this episode is movies starring Christian Slater. And we are going to pick 3 movies from his filmography each. One to keep, one that we would watch, and one that we would pass. The Keep movie is very simple. This is the pinnacle of films, something that we absolutely love. We have to have every single copy of it and probably put a copy on the wall. That's how much we love this film. The watch is very simply as, if it's on, we're happy. We're not going to change the channel. The pass, well, it's not a hall pass. It's not a pod pass. It's a pass. It's a hard pass in a movie that we would probably change the channel if it was on TV at the time. But we're going to start with you, Carrie, and your keep. So what is your Christian Slater keep movie?
I got to keep Pump Up the Volume.
Right.
I have to keep that. In fact, as I was preparing for this podcast, I was running through in my mind and trying to remember where the hell I put my poster. My poster that had like a place of honor on my wall right beside my bed when I was a teenager, and I would wake up and see Christian Slater. Now I wake up and see you and all is well. So I don't need my Pump Up the Volume poster no more, but I would like to know where the hell it is.
Probably somewhere in it's tucked away in a box or something like that, or rolled up in one of the poster rolls that didn't get unpacked when we moved, kind of thing.
Yeah, where are those though?
I don't know.
I know we had them.
And at this point right now, it's how many years that it hasn't been touched. So yeah.
I know.
Everyone has, I think, those boxes in their house where it's like, yeah, we packed it, we moved it, we haven't touched it for 15 years. Do we really still need it? And then you throw it away, and then you realize that that's the box with the one thing that you wanted 16 years later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like my drawer of cables that I'll never get rid of because you know.
But that's okay, because if I can't find the poster, I've got the book, I've got the VHS tape, I've got the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And I have the Eat Me, Beat Me Ladies poem memorized.
I was going to ask because I remember you used to this was your badge of honor. This was your, I cannot be defeated in any hands down, I am awesome competition because you knew that poem. I'm okay. You brought it up now.
Oh, wow.
The audience is listening.
I know. All right. Every night you break into my brain like a criminal. You are no ordinary criminal. You pop your feet up and you pop a Pepsi. or you put your feet up and you pop a Pepsi. You start to party. I turn on my stereo. Songs I've never heard, but I move anyway. Jam me, jack me, ram me, something, something. Talk hard. No, push me, pull me, ram me, jack. Something like that.
I recognize.
La, 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 la. Talk hard.
I recognize that this is an audio only podcast, but you do have to understand that she literally did that with no notes whatsoever. Nothing was written down. She has no papers in her hand. There was no tablet. There was no phone. That was
by
pure
memory.
And I'm going to ask you a question, okay? Because Hollywood doesn't, do original movies anymore. You have to think that if they ever did pump up the volume, like a reboot kind of thing or a modernization, it'd be a podcaster as opposed to like a shortwave radio, AM transmission kind of thing.
Well, what do you think about it? When it came out, it was way before its time. Mm-hmm. Like now, how many podcasts are out there? Right? Right? And everybody has access, right? Internet, YouTube, like podcasts. I don't know. Is radio still a thing? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. And you can quite easily land a guest spot on most radio stations. Right. So the medium has become so accessible. Whereas in the time, this movie was such a forerunner, right? Because, he had to drive around with this pirated radio that he patched to get the
like a shortwave transmitter.
Right. Yeah, he had to have a transmitter to get the signal to be able to broadcast. Mm-hmm. And he was able to do it locally, right? He was a local broadcast. It wasn't like it was like pinging out somewhere across the world. It was all local. Right. Right? I love this movie. It is so cool. It was such a part of my childhood, such a part of my teenagehood growing up. And you know what? Aside from the whole, the message is the medium or whatever.
The medium is the message, yeah.
The medium is how to share or how to be heard, mm-hmm. how to have your voice heard. Like when you think about it, right? Like his alter ego or his actual personality was actually quite shy and reserved and quiet. He was the quiet nerd, if you will, mm-hmm. right? But he found his voice. And he was able to say the things that needed to be said to a generation that needed to hear these things. So, there is just so much that I love about this movie. Right. I'm talking I did a book report about the power behind finding your voice and being heard and sharing your thoughts. And I use this movie as a reference. So, mm-hmm. yeah. Anyway, that is 100% my keep.
So now, last episode, you got all... I kind of broke you because... Your keep was my pass on the movies directed by Quentin Tarantino episode. This week, this episode, your keep... is my keep. I'm going with Pump Up the Volume.
Oh my God. I literally...
You were about to disown me.
Couldn't breathe right there for a minute.
Right?
Okay.
But you're
I approve.
You're very right in that this film, when I take a look back at some of the things that came out in the 80s and really how some of those movies and TV shows probably indirectly inspired me to get into broadcasting. When you think about WKRP in Cincinnati and Pump Up the Volume and broadcast news and other assorted media related, thankfully not network. If I watched network and that was inspiration, I probably would have ended up on Fox News. But, because I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. But no, like this film, like the independent, rebellious spirit, and how with a microphone and a voice, you can change you can inspire. You can create, you can speak louder than your normal self can't. And that's I hope they never try to redo this film, because I think the rebellion in that would be lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But tell me though, growing up, how many nights did you spend going up and down the dial trying to find a radio station like that might be out there,
right?
That would, I mean, even just, of course, it would never be as amazing, but just something, right? Like growing up in Ottawa, there was that college radio station.
Yep.
Right, and they would play some cool after dark. So yeah.
Oh, I mean, believe me when I say that, if I ever had the chance to have my own show on some kind of independent community radio station, sign me the F up. I didn't swear, because if there's anyone listening and they have that community radio station that they would like for me to have my own show on, then I'm not going to swear on their network. I'll just swear.
We'll keep it clean.
Right. I'll just swear on this show. It's beep though, because beeps are funny. Okay, so now we have actually matched on our keep movies. It's time to see how we do on our watch films. And for me, my watch movie is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Ah,
right, where he
respect.
played Will Scarlet. Now, I get that there is some slack on this film because Kevin Costner didn't exactly have the British accent for Robin Hood. And they even kind of made fun of it in Robin Hood Men in Tights, which, yes, absolutely, go ahead and make that joke. But this film, when you realize just how good and how adventurous this film was. I mean, Robin Hood is it's the song that everyone's played, right? I remember reading this story that Robin Hood is the most retold story in film and television. It's an iconic character of literature and film and TV. But this film brought it to such a big cinematic level. And Kevin Costner at his peak, Morgan Freeman, because come on, Morgan Freeman, right? Christian Slater was perfect.
Alan Rickman.
Alan freaking Rickman.
And who played Mary Magdalene?
That was I know. Oh God, I know who it is. And I can't. Her name escapes me right now.
She was lovely.
Yes,
absolutely. I think the cast was perfect, and I thank you so much for mentioning this movie, because I really fought myself. But I mean, once you hear my watch, it's a no-brainer.
Okay, so what is your watch film?
Absolutely, it's Very Bad Things.
Ah, yes.
In fact, my watch would have been my keep if Pump Up the Volume wasn't so incredibly iconic in my life, right? So, I mean, it's really so high up there. But I tell you, if I'm watching it and it's on, television, and they've edited it for profanity and everything is fuddy-duddy. We're fuddy-duddy, fuddy-duddy. Oh my God. I'm stopping everything and I'm watching it from like start to finish. But yeah, the edits were just so funny.
It may be the funniest TBS movie that ever aired. Yeah. And that's always the funny thing too. It's like, I don't want to pick on TBS kind of thing, but it's the first network that comes to mind whenever you think about movies that are, maybe revoiced to get rid of some of the profanity, and the lip flap it never matches. It absolutely never matches. But it's funnier that way.
It is. It winds up looking like a bad overdub, like kung fu movie.
Right? I was curious. I mean, I know you. At least I better know you by now. You know, I know the Pump Up the Volume and Very Bad Things were going to be up there. I was just curious which one was going to get the keep, or if you could decide between the two.
But of course, knowing me so well, like it was a no-brainer because Pump Up the Volume, again, from childhood. Like, I mean, there was no contest. Again, though, they're held in very, very similar regard. It's just that Pump Up the Volume has that nostalgia factor.
One is definitely a good film and one is a definingly good film. Okay, so now we get to the pass. I am fascinated because I'm not going to lie. I had trouble finding a pass movie, but I'm curious what your pass is. This
was quite easy for me, actually.
Oh.
And surprisingly, because I really wanted to expect more from it. I'm going. This is me.
Yeah.
I had to take a pass on Heathers. And
wow.
I had only recently, and I'm talking like
we're talking the movie, not the musical.
Within the 2000s, right? I remember being down with the CVID and it was on TV. And I watched it for the first time in my adult life. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of hated it.
Really?
Like, yeah. And I really wanted to like it. And I don't know, like, I really don't know if it's just maybe I had a fever dream and I was just not quite there, but I really didn't like it. Like, I don't think I would give it a second, second go.
It falls under that, I guess, black, dark comedies that came out in the 80s.
Yeah, but I love those.
I know, but it wasn't as... I take a look at a movie like Throw Mama from the Train, right? Which is very much a black comedy film, right? It's not played for straight laughs. It's played for like dark laughs, the kind where you're like,
I shouldn't be laughing.
Right?
Yeah, but normally that's my gig. I love those kind of movies, but I just found, especially, and I like me some Christian Slater, but I just found him to be real creepy, like overly. And so if that was his intent as an actor, respect, because you turned a fan off. Like, I was just like, ugh.
And it's funny because that is considered one of the early quintessential Winona Ryder films, but as far as a Christian Slater film, maybe not so much. And I can kind of see, like, if you're basing it on Christian Slater, then maybe I get that. If you're basing it on someone like Winona Ryder, maybe it fares a little better.
No, I tried. I really tried to like her too. And I found her really pretentious and annoying.
Yeah, but that's the character.
Like, I know, but there was nothing likable as an anti-hero.
I can see that because the anti-hero is tough, right? There has to be, in the gruffness and the reluctance, there has to be a redeeming quality. And there's a fine line between anti-hero and straight sociopath.
Yeah. But I mean, even at that, it was like, I don't know. I wanted to like it, but I didn't.
But you
and
couldn't.
I'm sorry. I would pass if it was on TV because I don't own the DVD at all. I had only ever saw it again because it was on television. And
okay.
Yeah, I want the 2 hours of my life back.
I think it's probably only like an hour and a half, possibly. But regardless of, I think I'm going to surprise you with my pass.
Oh.
Because it's actually a comic book property.
Okay.
Yeah. My pass is the animated DC movie Suicide Squad: Hell to Pay. Now, you know that I love my DC animated films. I think where Marvel succeeds in the live action movies, DC had it all over Marvel when it came to their animated movies. And the first Suicide Squad animated film was really good. It was great. but it's almost like they tried to repeat the success of the first one, and it failed. He plays Deadshot, but his voice isn't Deadshot. Like, it's just one of those things where, you know how sometimes when you watch a cartoon and you see the character and you hear the voice and it's not right. It's not a good fit. And Christian Slater as Deadshot, as much as I like him in cartoons, you know, I mean, he's appeared on Archer. He's appeared on a number of different TVs, like animated shows. Here,
Inside Job.
Yeah, Inside Job.
Yeah.
Here, it doesn't work.
I just thank God you didn't mention Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I was really afraid you were going to like slag him for that. And I'm like,
that one, or are you thinking We Could Be Heroes off of Netflix?
I think maybe I am. It was
Yeah, you were thinking We Could Be Heroes.
It had the characters though.
The thing is, though, that movie is exactly what you want it to be, and it's for kids, right? And as much as we have probably seen it way too many times because our youngest likes that film, and that's great. I don't have a problem with the film for what it is. Here, you had an R-rated DC animated universe film that I found boring. And that's the thing. In comparison to some of the other DC animated movies leading up to Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, they were killing it on almost every single outing. But Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, it's inferior to the first one, and it's inferior to the rest of the DC animated movie universe. And that's a shame because, you know me, I like those films. I didn't like this one. Meh.
Are you okay?
I think I'm going to be okay now.
Do you want a Snickers?
I'm just sitting here realizing that I just crapped all over, something I, by all rights in my interest, I should like. And I tried.
Can I just add a throw in?
Oh, you're going to throw one in.
Well, you know what? You need another column because I really, really wanted to pick The Wizard. For, at least give it props.
Yeah, but that's what volume 2s are for,
if
though.
If anything, I want your listeners to go and watch The Wizard. As much as I've raved about the other movies, please, it was at the time when Super Mario 3 came out and Christian Slater plays Fred Savage's older brother, which, I don't know. I can't imagine them being related at all, but it was just such a great movie. Such a great film.
All right. Well, without your throw in there, just remind our listeners what your keep, watch, and pass are.
Okay. My keep is, of course, Pump Up the Volume. My watch would be Very Bad Things. Any day, every day. I could watch that movie a million times. And sadly, I would have to pass on Heathers.
And my keep movie is also Pump Up the Volume. My watch is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And my pass is the animated Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. Carrie, thank you so much. And to our listeners, not just thank you for listening, but thank you for supporting. It means so much that you are listening to this episode and helping us make this content. Thank you, and thank you. Until next time, this is Keep, Watch, Pass. I'm Jay. She's Carrie. You guys are awesome. Take care.
Hey folks, Stefan Shirazi and Renee Richardson here from the Metallica Report.
And we are proud members of the Pantheon podcast family, where the best of music and podcasts unite.
We've got something pretty cool for you. We're giving away an exclusive Metallica merch package worth over $250.
That's a whole lot of Scary Guys, Skulls, M72, and other sought-after Metallica swag. And we've made it easy for you to win. Follow and share the Metallica Report, and you're in the game. Go to pantheonpodcast.com/Metallica, enter your email, and hit that button to be entered to win.
And just like that, you're eligible for our monthly exclusive Metallica merch package.
And guess what, rockers? You can enter every month, so just do it. And while we love our global brothers and sisters, the lawyers won't let us ship outside the U.S.